Unlock the door, bitch. I'm on my way, and I got chicken strips.
I don't know why they call them chasers. It's not like Chubbs can run real fast.
Double vodka with hot brownie chasers.
She just wanted to watch me eat it. Naked.
I can't say that. That's dirty.
Chasers will do anything to get into your pants. I love them.
Stop it! Stop!
Oh,
God. Chubs gone wild.
Well, good morning, Wait, where are we? I don't even know anymore. You don't recognize anything. But I know that we're doing Chubbs Gone Wild, episode 577, recorded on Monday, January 27th, 2025. We're at 61 degrees and sunny in Chubland. That's where we are. It's 18 days until Valentine's Day. What are you doing for Valentine's Day?
I'm not going anywhere if that's what you think.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's real good. It's 83 days till Easter. Where are you going on Easter?
I'll be in New York.
Yay! It's 277 days till Halloween, dare I ask?
I'll be in my bedroom with the lights off.
Same. And 332 days until Christmas. And we all know where you'll be then. All right. Well, let's jump into a wonderful affirmation for today. Just take a deep breath with me. Center yourself. Focus. I am willing to learn how to take good care of my body. Aw, that's nice. I like it when guys take care of my body.
Is that like a masturbation thing?
Well, it could be, but it's Louise Hayes, so I don't want to think about that. All right, well, let's talk about Patreon, though. Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive rewards not open to the general public, like my Life of Fragments podcast, books, videos, and more. And we want to thank our current patrons, Clint, Nephi, Nick, DJ Sausage from the Universe, Eric, Sean, Charles, Phoenix Dave, Brother Sinatus, Kingsley, Kathy Bacon, and Moose P. Please visit patreon.com/Matt Burlingame to find out how you can become a supporter of the stuff that we do for as little as $1 a month. And, well, today in history, on January 27th, 1993, American Chad Rowan becomes the first non-Japanese sumo wrestler to become a Yakuza, a Yokozuna. Yes, that's correct. The sport's highest rank. Rowan, a 23-year-old Hawaiian native who stands 6'8" and weighs 445 pounds, is the 64th person to hold the top rank in sumo, Japan's national sport. That is wonderful. All right. Well, let's see if we accidentally celebrate any holidays today. Every once in a while it does happen. Today is the Better Business Communication Day. No. Bubble Wrap Appreciation Day. Do you appreciate bubble wrap?
I don't.
I'm shocked. Okay, we'll just let it go. Community Manager Appreciation Day.
No.
International Day of Commemoration in memory of the victims of the Holocaust.
I did that yesterday, actually.
Really?
Yeah, I was watching some show and they were in Auschwitz and stuff. So
yeah, I was reading a little bit more about it this morning.
maybe that's why I saw a couple things on YouTube this morning about Auschwitz and the camps and stuff. So yeah, I guess I did do it today as well.
Yeah. International Port Wine Day.
No.
No, thank you. Oh, National Chocolate Cake Day.
No.
Yeah, I'm kind of off cake right now. National Geographic Day. You know, my mom keeps resubscribing every once in a while, but no. Punch the Clock Day. Did you punch the clock?
No, I did not.
No, I might, but it hasn't given me a reason. Thomas Crapper Day.
Oh, that could happen. Well, it
Yeah.
did happen earlier today and could happen sometime during the show.
Well, there you go. Celebratory moments all around. Vietnam Peace Day.
No, it didn't. But
That's a good day though, but
you
yeah.
did start off with the Good Morning Vietnam joke.
Oh, well, that's
Well, okay,
true,
sorry.
kind
It
of,
was
sort of
was it
true.
wasn't a joke,
Right.
but I mean
A
it
good
wasn't
reference.
funny. It
Yeah.
wasn't funny. That's what I meant. Yeah. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. World Breast Pumping Day. I'm doing that
Well,
right now.
that might happen later.
Oh, there you go. Hmm. Visual images, things,
I know it's so good.
days. It's time for birthdays. At some point when it decides to load. Okay, well, happy birthday today to Clinton and to Shane. And happy birthday upcoming to Tyrion, Janice, Marco, Carla, Juan, Clint, another Clint, Neil, Tess, Richard. We have William, Justin, Red, Rick, author. Oh no, there's someone else. Michael, Danny, another Rick. And then we have Charlotte and VJ Tran, who is currently raising money for the American Civil Liberties Union with his birthday fundraiser, which is really good. Oh, and then we have Mark. Mark from the well, I don't know if they're former or not, but from the Feast of Fun podcast, uh, formerly the Feast of Fools. But yeah, it's another story. All right, moving on. I'm sure we have lots of stuff to get to, including in our feed bag. We have Sean, who writes in and says the final season of Skeleton Crew
The
wrap.
finale of
Yeah,
Skeleton Crew.
yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. The season finale of Skeleton Crew wrapped things up nicely, but did leave it open for a potential other season. Overall, I enjoyed the show, but I felt it was non-essential in relation to the rest of Star Wars.
I mean, I can see that, because we didn't, I mean, there were no new character, I mean, no old characters in it, I don't think. But then, they made reference to the Jedi and it was, foreign, I mean, it's a science fiction. I'm fine with that. It's almost like when, all of a sudden DC goes, "Oh no, we've got another our Marvel character, that's it's actually mud. It's just mud, but we're gonna do a show about it. Okay,
Mm,
go for it.
cool. I haven't seen it yet, but I do want to. It's on my list. Um, and he also saw the Warcraft movie in the theater when it opened. I enjoyed it. Too bad there won't be a sequel. And I agree, actually, after watching it again, I saw, of course, it was very much set up for a sequel, and I'm sad that there won't be one. So, yeah. All right, it's time for Chub Hugs. And we want to start by sending Chub Hugs out to all of our trans family currently being affected and trying to be wiped out of the country. We see you, we love you. And also anyone being targeted, and there's quite a bit of us, by the new regime. How about you?
Well, since you covered that portion, and by the way, I just want to mention, in the country of Turkey in 1988, you were legally able to change your gender.
Hmm.
Turkey, I mean, 40 years ago, that was a thing in Turkey, and today we're trying to outlaw it. It's just
Yeah.
just ridiculous. Of course, they don't have gay marriage there, but they made a move on the trans people. So I mean, a positive step towards trans people in Turkey. Anyway, back to weather again. I mean, the weather as far as hugs, we've got people who are freezing out there. I mean, I sit here and I'm shivering in 60-degree, 50-degree weather during the day, and there's people who are that I know personally that are below zero or have been in the last week or so. So and this, everyone's going, oh look, we've got snow in Florida. Well, you know what, good luck on saving some of those trees down there that can't handle that kind of cold.
Right.
I actually saw a celebration that, look, Trump's been in office less than a week and he's cured climate change. Okay, you idiots.
Yeah.
How often do you get snow in Florida?
Did you
That's
see
climate change, you stupid idiots.
Did you see that it started? I guess it started raining in LA or something.
Yeah.
They're like, see, this is what happens when you have a good leader. Like, oh, really? So you're
Yeah,
charged with the weather now, are you?
I thought it was the Democrats that ran the weather.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Idiots.
Yeah. So, but as far as spring is coming, hopefully soon, and we'll be able to get more rain out the west, and we'll get less cold in the Midwest and the Northeast.
Yeah.
Well, shit, in the South, are you kidding? Snow. They were snowball fights in New Orleans, and everyone thinks that's cool, but there's a lot of the natural environment is not meant to withhold that kind of cold.
Right.
So anyway, that's mine.
Okay.
Let's move to news.
Yeah. Well, Trump shuts down school safety board focusing on gun violence prevention, which was founded by former Congressman Gabrielle Gifford. Also, writing obtained by authorities after the deadly Nashville school shooting reveals that the shooter was ashamed to be Black and was heavily influenced by conservative pundit Candace Owens. Owens took no responsibility for being a self-hating sellout. Trump is expected to sign executive orders to reshape the military, including banning transgender service members, gutting the military's DEI programs, and in reinstating with back pay service members who were discharged for refusing to get vaccinated from COVID-19. And that's the news, comrade. All right.
Okay. It was celebrity deaths.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me look. Garth Hudson, keyboardist and saxophonist of the and actually the last surviving member of the band, he died this last week, 87 years old. Wow. Nice long run. And I guess you added this one, DJ Unk.
Yeah.
The rapper whose real name is Anthony Platt died at the age of 43. Does it say why?
No, I couldn't find that.
Okay. And finally, Francisco San Martin of Days of Our Lives and Jane the Virgin series. He died from suicide this last week at 39 years old.
Ugh. That's so awful.
Yeah, but I'll tell you.
Go ahead.
I'll tell you, it's one of I understand it. It's one of those things that I learned when I was there, is that you can want to be a successful actor. You can get roles. When you get a role, you're like, oh, this is great. And then your agent, needs, new photo shots. At this point, they don't need the resume or the new pictures, but you're going to have to do a new photo shoot to get new shots that they can send out electronically, which is a good thing. But my God, and you just never seem to be making any steps forward. And so and if you don't want to work at Ralph's as a checker, it becomes a very tough thing psychologically for people. So I get that.
Yeah. No,
I mean, I understand it. I don't get it.
Right.
That's why, I thought, well, I just don't want to be another has-been when I technically never was, So, and I don't want to work at an auto, like selling cars because look, I was so-and-so on this show. Yay, come buy a car from me. It's like, oh, this is just too sad. Too sad.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. He was so young, and I saw his photos and was like, dude, what was going through your head? Anyway, all right. Well, on to cheerier subjects. Let's talk about Tom's week.
Well, this week on RuPaul's Drag Race, season 17, Joella, she ended up going home. Now, if you've been online and you've seen a picture of a person who's dressed up like a mattress, it almost looks like that scene from Doctor Who, when it was the skin monster. What she did was you had to have a costume that was quilted. The runway was quilted, so she shows up with that hideous thing, and her head, just her face was sticking. You could see her face through the quilting, and that was it. And terrible. And this was her third time in the bottom. The first week she couldn't be in the bottom. She couldn't be in the bottom, but she's just terrible. It's time for her to go. So, actually, I was glad she was gone. I didn't like her.
I heard that it's meaner, that these queens are meaner this year.
Well, they're more cutthroat. It's like, and I honestly, I get it. I understand. When you're doing these kind of shows, I mean, if you remember for not Chopped, for Untucked, there's I'm not here to be on the RuPaul's best friend, and I think a lot of people lose themselves into, I want to be, Miss Congeniality, and I'm going to let these bitches walk all over me to do it, and that there's got to be a balance there, and some come there to be mean so they get more airtime, flat out more airtime, and ultimately you can soften up as you end up towards the, if you stay till the end, and then they go, well, they were just really stern personality, kind of bullshit. Anyway, so she went home, and I was happy about it, as I mentioned. Let's see. We had the season 2 finale of Silo, and it did not end the way I thought it was going to for the end of the season. So now I'm really excited for season 3 to come up, but of course it's going to be a fucking year from now. Let's see, Wildcard Kitchen. This week they had James Beard Award winner chefs, and then Michael Simon, who's a James Beard Award winner. He was the judge. And it's funny because you sit there and you go, okay, these are the same people, that we always, they're the same people we always see, but now they're just being classified in a different, we're going to do a different category for them now. So it's like, sometimes it's, these are all Top Chef people. Well, one of them was a Top Chef person, so she'll be on that one too. It's kind of funny. They need more chefs, I think, is what's happening. The rotation's getting thin. Let's see, on Traders this week, they sent home Bob the Drag Queen, and he was a trader. So they did acquire the trader, but the way they found the person who exposed him as a traitor was Boston Rob from Survivor. And the thing about that is he's also a traitor. So he sacrificed one of their own because he's throwing chaos and fear into not only the traders but the faithfuls. So it was odd but interesting move. Goosebumps this week. We finished up the second season that's been on Disney Hulu, and it was good. It was good. It was, first of all, it's much more scary than I expect from Goosebumps, but I think they're probably bringing them up to like Nancy Drew kind of, because that's what all the kids are. They're all that age. They're all 16, 17 years old and trying to figure out a mystery, and there's aliens involved in it. And I think for older kids it wasn't as scary. They can I would have had nightmares over some of the stuff if when I was a kid. On shifting gears, we've got I mentioned it last week. The only reason I mentioned it this week, it's got Tim Allen and Kat Dennings on it, and it's also got Sean William Scott, your favorite. Yeah, but what's interesting is he's I've always thought he was a decent actor, but on this he's clumsy. I don't think he knows how to act on TV. Because he's done film.
Yeah.
So, and it's a single camera and a 3-camera thing, and you're also dealing with comic pros. I mean, like them or not, Tim Allen and Kat Dennings are comic pros. They've both had long-lasting series, and which they both starred in. They know how it works, and I think he'll ease into it, because he's just too pretty to see him go. This week on The Pit, it was hours 9 to 10 a.m. Now this is the show that it's a 15-hour shift in a Pittsburgh ER drama comedy. They really have added enough comedy in there that like this what happens is they've got new learning. It's a learning kind of ER, so they got these doctor students in there.
Okay.
And this one guy keeps getting everything spilled on him, so he's constantly having to get the emergency scrubs that they have there, and it's just like, it's shit. It's what was it? Somebody spilled he spilled my Lanta all over himself, and then I think the last one was pee. So it's kind of, it's like, oh, what's going to happen to him this episode? This hour, I should say. But it's got Noah Wiley, who used to be on ER. And honestly, he was always cute, but now he's just like daddy. You would really like him in this. Some renewals for next season: High Potential over on ABC, along with Abbott Elementary. They'll both be back for season 2 and season 5. And then Elsbeth and Matlock for seasons 3 and seasons 2 have been done. Let's see, Raid the Cage is back on CBS, along with the Hollywood Squares, CBS Paramount Plus. Now, Raid the Cage is kind of like Supermarket Sweep, but it's almost the way, if you remember the end, where they would pick prizes on Wheel of Fortune, and they always had like the ceramic dog, and you had to spend all your money, and whatever money's left over, they'd give you that money. Well, it's kind of set up like that, but for this Raid the Cage, it's got Damon Wayans Jr. as the host. Second season, super fun show. Super fun, because they open the door and they've got 28 seconds to take as much as they want, but they have to get out the door to cross the finish line before the time runs out. So it's a really high energy kind of show. You got to check it out. Now, Hollywood Squares is really clunky right now. I mean, I've only seen the first couple episodes, and they keep talking about, oh, we've got Drew Barrymore as our center square. So why is she the fucking center square? I'm asking myself. Shouldn't that be, Fortune Feimster, or some gay comic right now that's really hot. Tim, I can't think of his name now. Tim something. But get somebody in there that's going to be because that's traditionally the gay spot. That's where Paul Lynn was all those years. Well, I looked it up. She's one of the producers, so she's just buttering her own toast, basically. Um, Started watching the Kids Baking Championship over on the Food Channel, and they have gotten rid of um, oh God, One Day at a Time, actress uh,
Valerie Bertinelli.
Valerie Bertinelli. They fired her from the Food Channel. She's gone, and they've got this new woman in, and she's fine. That's not the point. It was just like, wow, okay. But I mean, it's a cute show, and they're doing it's animal, all things animal shaped. And it's like kind of irritating, but I guess you can't just keep doing, oh, now we're all going to do a hummingbird cake. Oh, now we're all going to do pies. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. Now for people who are like didn't go out and see all the movies that came out during Christmas time, many of them are out now and on some form of streaming. Saturday Night, which is the Saturday night movie that they made about the first show, making the first show. I think it's like only 90 minutes long, so it's kind of like The Pit or 24. It's showing how it came together in 90 minutes. So that's over on Netflix. Gladiator 2 is on Paramount Plus. The Wild Robot, Despicable Me 4, and Speak No Evil are all on Peacock right now. Real Pain, which is up for Best Supporting Actor and Best Screenplay, that's over on Hulu. That's with Jesse Eisenberg and Cullen Culkin. We've got A Different Man over on Max, which won the Emmy for the guy who plays Donald Trump in The Apprentice. I can't think of his name right now. Also on Max is Beetlejuice, and Joker 2. And finally, I finished School Spirit because they're bringing out another season of it, and I'm thinking, really, they didn't solve the problem in the first season? So I finished because I was getting kind of bored, thinking, where is this going? So I started watching it, and there's no other way of explaining this, but in Big Mouth, Nick Birch has his body taken over by his self from the future, and so let's just say that this was Nick starred. The character was Nick starred. I'll explain it to Sean, and he'll go, "Oh, really?" He'll know exactly what I'm talking about. But I was watching this, and afterwards, because I just finished it yesterday, and I'm like, "Oh my God, she just got Nick starred," and I'm like, "Oh God, I can't tell anybody about this until Sean gets home." Then I forgot. But anyway, it's kind of a cute, not cute. It's a good series about ghosts, unlike the other series about ghosts. Yeah. So, other than that, I we got all our plans laid out for New York and Istanbul.
Crazy.
It's going to be good. So we're looking forward to it. Yeah. Oh wait, and actually, we need to get a hotel now. Oh, that'll be easy. So yeah. So that's what's happening with me.
Oh, that's very cool. Sounds like a lot of good stuff going on.
Well, we're finally getting things back. You'll see. I mean, like Tracker's coming back next month, but Matlock and I thought we were supposed to get a Matlock and a Elsbeth this week. So hopefully on Thursday we will get those to watch on Friday.
Yeah, I have not even caught up on a lot of the stuff that I like Happy's Place and Matlock and
Well, that's because there aren't any. Oh, you haven't finished the
Well,
ones.
I still have a couple episodes of Matlock to catch up on.
Got it. What was the other thing? Oh, and there's a new show I want to check out. Watson over on CBS, which looks like it's a Dr. Watson kind of show. So, and I like the actor, so I'm looking forward to that.
Cool.
Yeah, it just started.
Well, for me, I have been kind of dealing with a tooth possible, what I think is a tooth infection. I've got a couple little swelling stuff going on up on my upper back tooth. Um, and it it's not super painful, but it's there, and I think that it has been contributing to just me being a little bit more wiped out than I normally am. So when I can grab a nap, I've been grabbing lots of naps.
Well, I'll tell you. I mean, I'm sure if you got swelling and stuff, you're probably you're right. But I've got teeth. When my allergies get bad,
Mm-hmm.
it affects my teeth, and it's especially ones that have been um, touched before. Let's say, whether it's a cap or it's a filling or something. Because when I came back, I got a filling on my bottom tooth, but the one above it is the one that gives me the most pain right now.
Mhm.
So, which it makes no sense at all. And then the cap I got here doesn't bother me, but the cap in the back here bother. It's just ridiculous. I hate it.
And I think that the because we have allergy issues in this valley.
Well, yeah, Sacramento Valley is considered the
One of
number one place in the nation for allergies.
And I'm pretty sure that that's contributing to it, even though I do take a 24-hour
Me
allergy.
too. Me too. Every day.
And I'm telling you, it really does help. But lately, I've been kind of thinking, maybe I need a little something extra because, yeah, I'm
Well,
just
well,
white.
Sean took shots this year.
Oh, how's that working?
He's got the same allergies he ever did.
Yeah.
And I'd heard that from other people, and I said, go ahead and do it. But everybody I hear that gets the shots, it doesn't do them a shit worth of good.
Mhm.
And uh, what was the other thing? There's something. Oh, and with the allergies, they're 24/7. I should say 12 months. All 12 months we have allergy problems in Sacramento.
Yeah.
It's not one of those. Oh well, at least you're good during. No, not
Mm.
good at all. Never.
Well, so I've been kind of dealing with that, and it has kind of knocked me out from being able to do a lot of the regular stuff, or even kind of sitting up watching more TV. I've really been wanting to watch the new Star Trek movie with Michelle Yeoh, and
So that thing is Star Trek
the
on Paramount Plus.
yes,
Okay.
that is the Star Trek with characters that were spun off from um, the the Discovery and actually mostly Discovery, but like that little section of shows in their Strange New Worlds. So I really want to watch it, but I just haven't been up to like really sit and focus. I did because of Matinee Minutia. We watched a show called Lost Saucer. Have you ever heard of this?
No.
Okay, so it is a kid show from 1975, and I actually um, apparently saw like half an episode of it when I was a kid, and years later I still remembered it, but I thought I dreamed it because I could never find it again. Well, here it is. It is basically about two androids played by Jim Nabors and Ruth Buzzy, and they are cycling around the galaxy with a young black child who's about 11, 10 or 11, and his babysitter, who is a um,
Hispanic.
girl that looks exactly like you would imagine the mom from the 70s show looking at her age.
Oh, because the first picture I saw does not look like her at all.
Right. Um, So anyway, and they go to they're trying to get back to the 1970s because their ship is a time machine as well as a spaceship. Very Doctor Who. And they keep going to the wrong century.
Is that pre-Doctor Who? Wasn't he around
No,
in the
Doctor Who started in like 60,
60s? Yeah,
so
okay.
this is like 12 years later.
Right, right. I know, I get it. I thought you said,
Did Marty Croft.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, so they have a character called the Dorse, which is basically a dog and a horse that's spliced together. And it's just as crazy. I mean, this is, Land of the Lost, Sigmund the Sea Monster, same type of group of people that put it together. So it is just the same thing every episode. They go off the ship for something, they run into a civilization that who the hell knows how they developed that short of time in 100 years. Somebody, completely different civilization. And they're just they have a misunderstanding, end up in jail, have to break out, get back to the ship, and take off. So that's the whole thing, all 16 episodes of it, including one episode called Fatopolis, where everybody is fat and it's illegal to do any sort of anything, including like picking up things off the floor and everything. You just sit and you eat food all day and have robots take care of everything. So
Oh, I just saw uh, a video. Uh, it's called "And I'm Telling You, Feed Me."
oh, okay.
Um, and so it's a cross between "I'm Telling You I'm Not Leaving" and "Feed Me" from Little Shop. So,
Uh,
but it was very funny, very clever.
hmm. Um, so yeah, so that's basically the main thing that I ended up watching this week. And then also I started watching Night Agent season 2, which you can find on Netflix.
Wait,
And
season two started?
yeah, yeah, it
Oh,
just dropped. So I really liked season 1. And of course the guy in it, the actor in it is just gorgeous. And they've got a really good, strong cast. So I decided to watch it again and got 3 episodes in and said, okay, you know what? With everything going on in the world, this is just giving me a lot of anxiety. I'm not in a place to watch it. But that said, it is good. It is something that I will finish. And if you like the spy thriller type shows, you will like this a lot. It's not just, let's get a hot actor and have him run around and
why is it not showing up on my feed? It should be showing up as continue to watch.
okay,
I'm sorry, I can see it here. It says, top 10. It's
yeah.
right there, but that just pisses me off. Okay.
Well, it's a
So,
good thing that we talked about it then. So now you know. Now you got another show to add to your rotation because it's a good one.
oh no, I was the one that turned you onto it the first time.
Really,
Yeah.
I don't know about
Yeah.
that.
Oh no. We started watching it and then I told
Oh,
one week
so
I
I
told
had seen it and then but only watched one episode, and you said it was so good, so I went back and finished it.
okay, that must have been it.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree though. It's just a really good show, and so I recommend it totally. And that actually is kind of my week. The rest of my week has been having to run around and deal with other people. I have some family that well, my step grandmother and stuff like that. I got to see them and help them as they're preparing for things, and all sorts of other things and begness and stuff. So, which I'll talk about in upcoming episodes. All right, so that's me. Well, let's get into advice. I'm a 27-year-old woman engaged to my partner of 3 years, who is 35. This is his first serious relationship. We live together in an expansive city with high rent. Our wedding is set for next year, But after a difficult period in our relationship, I've realized that I'm not just bisexual as I thought. I'm a lesbian. Coming to terms with this has been challenging, especially after experiencing sexual abuse from a young age, which made intimacy with men feel obligatory. My friends have been supportive, but I'm terrified of canceling the wedding and disappointing both our families. I don't want to hurt my fiance, but I also don't want to live feeling unfulfilled. I'm saving up for financial security, but I feel overwhelmed and unsure where to start. I have a therapy appointment scheduled, but the wait is long. How do I navigate coming out and calling off the wedding without feeling like a terrible person?
Well, you just do it. This
Yeah,
is ridiculous.
don't.
I mean, first of all, if you're trying to save money, you don't want to throw a fucking wedding that you're
Right.
going to have to pay for.
Yeah.
And if you're lesbian, you don't want to marry a man.
Right.
And who cares what the fuck the family says? You know what? I'll tell you something.
Uh-oh.
Come out as a lesbian, and they'll know that there's no wedding. So
Right.
look, don't do it. Don't cancel the wedding first. Just say, you know what? I'm a lesbian, and they'll all be like, oh, okay. So I guess we won't be going to that wedding this next year.
Mm,
Okay. And then you talk to the fiance first. He probably already knows by now, but so you can stay living together as you get to know each other. As you redo your life. Don't
right.
immediately say, okay, one of us has to get out. I mean, hopefully there's a second bedroom.
Right.
Uh,
Especially living in a city where rents are high and you're trying to conserve money and everything.
right.
Better to just ride it out and learn how to be friends. But yeah, that's the thing is that with something like this, if you are going to come out, which is recommended and everything, you just got to rip that band-aid off and say, look, I'm really sorry. This is the way things are, and we're moving forward. And that's how you got to do it. But definitely get some money in the bank in case you do have to go do other things or whatever. You want to make sure you can land on your feet, but
Right. Yeah.
get
Don't.
and
Yeah.
and you know what? You're not a terrible person for being who you are.
Right.
You weren't lying because you didn't know at the time. You do now. And if somebody wants to think you're a terrible person, fuck them.
Well, actually, you're more of a terrible person right now for not sharing who you are and being who you want to be. And I mean that, and not in a terrible way, but
Right. Okay.
terrible. But I mean, if you want to be considered okay, you're a person that's doing wrong to yourself and everyone around you by not telling the truth.
Right. Exactly.
So yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Hey, Chubbs, do you believe in different dimensions?
I do.
Absolutely.
I just feel like there's different things that I've been doing that I haven't done. And I'm not talking like past lives. I'm talking just, I just feel like I thought I was on a course and then the course didn't happen, but I think it did, but just not here, if that makes sense.
Yes, actually, that does make a lot of sense. There's a lot of talk right now about alternate realities kind of ending up blending with our own, and that's how we ended up getting here. But all that is kind of, take it with a grain of salt, kooky or not kooky. But I do believe in other dimensions, and they have scientifically the science backs other dimensions and stuff as well. So, um, all right. Hey, Chubbs, Sean, I'm so sorry. Timothy wants to know, thinking back on your childhood, can you remember one thing you did that today you realize could have killed you?
Well, there are a lot of things.
Oh, oh yeah. Back in the Gen X days, there was a ton of shit we could have fucked ourselves up with.
Oh, are you kidding? I'm talking during my baby boomer days. And when I was a little kid,
Yeah.
my best friend and I was probably three or four, decided that we were going to see what was on the other side of that field. And that field went on for miles. And, it's like, I mean, imagine a 3 or 4 year old just wandering off, but with intention. We knew what we were doing. And then my mom's going, "You realize that that field is filled with snakes?" Adding to my hatred for snakes. But that, I mean, there's that, and just shit that I did as a teenager, and believe me, all of those times afterwards, I realized that I was doing something stupid.
There were when we were out riding horses. I at one point, the horse and I almost took a nosedive off the cliff. Um, just oh my God, being a little kid, 7, 8 years old, wandering off for like a mile down the other side of the road, getting into the woods, doing. I mean, we just did the dumbest things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Hey Chubbs, Timothy wants to know, do you believe in love at first sight? I believe that you can recognize somebody's soul or energy or some connection that you automatically know they play a part in your life. And I believe that. I don't know if the whole, but I mean, I don't know why not for some people.
Yeah, because it was for me.
Yeah.
Right. It really,
car and
I mean, I do think that there's a general sense of attraction or maybe lust, but it seems to be something more, and sometimes it takes, it's kind of like building a fire. You get it started, and then you get it more kindling, and get the flame burning and stuff like that. So, but then also, I know that when we picked up honey, and within an hour, love at first sight.
Oh yeah.
So I do believe it. I do believe in it. It may not, now, love at first sight doesn't always mean that you know that, oh, you run into each other's arms in the end. It's not like that. You can still have love at first sight and still have barriers. So yeah.
So all right. Hey Chubbs, Timothy wants to know, if someone has admitted to being unhappy in life from loneliness or mental health challenges, do you give them a pass when they are mean or extremely passive aggressive?
No.
I mean,
maybe once, but I'll call them on it and go, look, just because you're having a bad day or bad year doesn't mean you shit on me. Right. And if you do it again,
podcast,
I will continue to call you on this.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm not going to give them a pass. Nobody gets a pass to be mean or passive aggressive. Nobody.
But you still do a podcast with him.
Well, because you keep insisting that we keep doing this. Oh, wait, what are you talking about?
Brian.
Oh. But he's mean in a different way.
That's true.
Yeah.
So.
Well, yeah.
No, that's something that. Okay, because there was a woman who I did some. We were in the same group that was kind of a work group. And she was one of those people that, like, she would just be so mean and just say the most horrible shit. And I was just like, oh my God, why is she such a. And somebody pulled me aside and said, well, we give her a lot of space and you have to forgive her because she was abused as a child. And I'm like, the woman is 40. She needs to fucking go to a therapist, or she needs to learn to deal with it. Just because somebody treated you like shit, sorry that happened to you. That's really fucked up. but you're just perpetuating the cycle by treating everyone else like shit, and we're just letting you get away with it.
Yeah.
It's not right. So, anyway, there's that. Thank you, Timothy. Those were really good questions.
I know. I'm hoping that he's hearing this somewhere else and that he's not just, his brain is working all the time coming up with these great questions.
Yeah. All right. It's time for I Remember, and today's is I remember my first sleepover.
I don't. I mean, it would have been. I can't imagine I had sleepovers before I was, 5 or 6, right?
Mhm.
So it would have probably been Brett who slept over at his house, and he had a little brother that was a pain in the ass and a baby brother.
Hmm.
So it wasn't, I don't think I did a lot of the sleepovers, but it wasn't until, I started doing more sleepovers, especially when I'm fourth, fifth grade, you know, and then once you get into the 13, 14, they were different kind of sleepovers. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah. So my first sleepover was that I remember um was when I was, I think, 6, and it was this woman, I believe her name was Barb, and she had a kid who was like a couple of years younger than I was, but we were friends and went over there, and we were gonna, we had dinner and everything, and I was all set to sleep over, and all of a sudden I realized that sleeping over meant staying there all night, and I was not having it, and I wanted to go home. And she was all like, "Well, if you go home, then you can't have ice cream." And I'm just like, "I really want ice cream, but I want to go home." So my mom had to come all the way back out to where we were and pick me up and take me home because I was not gonna do that. And the only times that I really remember actually staying all night and sleeping over was when I was staying like a visitation with my father or something, and whoever we were staying at whoever he was dating's house or whatever. But other than that, I never wanted to do sleepovers. I hated them, and nope. Still to this day, I do not like doing sleepovers. All right. Well, Mr. Moose wrote in and had some wonderful, wonderful things to share with us.
What is this? What is it?
Let's see. Had an argument with hubby. He wanted country cooking again, and I told him I just couldn't eat it. I wanted Italian. He said no. So I dropped him off at the country food place, and I went for Italian. He can buy his own food for once. Ooh, girl. Am I the asshole? Don't care. Here is rigatoni, Italian sausage, and grilled chicken loaded with roasted garlic. So what's
Okay.
the argument?
Okay. It was the sausage we're throwing me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, Thai food today, chicken and green beans, nice and spicy. Noodles helped cool my mouth.
Oh my God, it looks so good.
It does. Made peanut butter fudge today, easy to make and was good. That was
I was watching it online.
uh
Yeah, yeah.
and then this was good, but named after the Chinese restaurant. I think they just made up names and dumped vegetables and meat together. Tasted good.
Look good.
Looked
Looks good.
really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
wow. Those are. I'm always like hungry after we do this segment. Speaking of hungry, what did you do?
Well, I made up some lumpia. Um, uh, and now, did we do this last week and you didn't post the picture?
No, no.
No?
You and I talked about this during the week because I
Okay.
talked about Olympia.
Yeah. But it's just, I see those lumpia that look like cigarettes. They're so thin, and these are more traditional uh, Filipino. Um, yeah, and it was funny because I didn't have ground beef because I normally use ground beef, even though the lumpia normally called for ground pork. And so, but I had some sausages, so I cooked up the sausages and I skinned them, and then crumbled the meat and made it into ground pork. So, and then I I always like to keep a pack of egg roll wrappers in the house because you can do this. It's so freaking easy. I mean, you can do it. You can make your own egg rolls. One time we made up. I had some apples, a jar of like whole, not whole apples, but sliced apples, and it was really nice. I mean, if you, it's kind of like, you remember we used to get the canned peaches, as a kid, or
Yeah.
yeah, that it was kind of like that. So I thought I'll get some brown sugar, some cinnamon with the apples, stir them together, fold them into the egg roll wrappers. Oh, they were so good. But yeah, you can almost do, you can take scrambled eggs and make your own scrambled eggs, put bacon in there. You can make breakfast egg rolls, anything. There's if it can be folded into a egg roll wrapper, you can do it. Peanut butter and jelly, you can do um it just, I mean, it's unlimited. Oh, limited. Okay. But and then you just I do a shallow fry, and as soon as they're brown, I'm done.
They're really
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
You know what? You're saying all that, and I just all of a sudden got this random nostalgia from being a kid of having, remember the little cans of Del Monte pudding? And you would
Cans?
yeah, and you
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes, yeah.
and
Like cat food.
right, and then butterscotch, like a butterscotch.
Butterscotch pudding.
I don't know why that popped in my head, but now I'm just sitting here going, "Wow, that was a really great memory." I
Yeah,
remember.
it was because I said the canned peaches.
Yeah.
That's
Oh yeah.
because it's so interesting, the different things that we had that you don't have anymore.
Right. Well, and it's like those the pudding cups that we have now with the little plastic things are just not good.
No, they're not. It's weird. They taste like kind of garbage.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't tried making, the stuff from, the box puddings that you can make up.
I have done that actually not too long ago, and they're still pretty good actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Because now you got me wanting butterscotch pudding, because there's just not enough things that are butterscotch anymore. I don't know why the world hates butterscotch.
I don't know, but they love that freaking tapioca, and I just think it's disgusting.
Actually, I remember as a kid, I think it was at Farrell's. They had a butterscotch that they dripped over, vanilla ice cream, and that was really good. Yeah,
Great.
yeah.
All right, people. Well, it's
I'm going to lunch, by the way, right after we get done here.
good. Send us what's in your lunchbox at chubsgonewild@gmail.com. Find Tom's other podcast at swimmerandchud.com. Find my other projects at juxkisstheguy.com and my books. And find all of our links at allofmylinks.com/chubsgonewild.
And don't forget to give us, they'll do it again. We got
And
an email,
give us an email.
chubsgonewild@gmail.com. You got to send us something.
Yeah,
It's so much more fun when you guys are interacting
it's true. And don't
with
forget,
pictures or questions or even what we're talking about.
right. And go over to facebook.com and check out these photos because this food is just, it will make you hungry. You know what makes me hungry is going on Facebook and seeing what Miss Bacon is cooking. She's always cooking something
Wait. Is
usually
it
healthy,
is it March?
what
No.
not.
Okay. Sorry.
Although I believe she voted for the 30 days ahead and the 30 days after.
That's big of
So
her.
starting February 3rd, who knows?
No. It can't be. It's got to be the first.
No, well, hers is the third though. So if it's
And 28 days in, 28 days.
oh, that's true. That is very true. So we could start right at the first. Yeah.
Okay, so write that down for next week.
You have a wonderful week, and we will catch you next week.
Bye.
A network of inclusion.
UnivazPods.net.
This show is part of the Pride 48 network.
This has been a For Fuck's Sake production.